All right, today we're going to talk about how we can find out and how much we can find out and what it takes to get there. So first we have to decide how much do we want to find out. So let's say in this case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. That there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Breaking news. Yes, Harry has settled. I'm going to get into everything. Just please give me a minute because obviously this is breaking news. Information is still swirling around. They literally just posted the apology. So I am all over the place, but please give me a second. Wow. I mean, it's not 100% what we wanted, certainly not 100% what Harry wanted, but it's something. Oh dear. Okay, let me get my ish together. Um, thank you everyone for streaming in. Do we have trolls in the chat? Shows that he and Meghan are broke. Clearly you don't understand the law or this case. Get out. Stupid trolls in the chat. Laughing and kikiing about Harry instead of questioning why the evil gremlin in the center of the screen right now has so much control over information. Why this evil gremlin in the center of the screen has as much power as he does, and clearly over your minds, that you decided to come in here in this live chat and kiki and laugh at Harry and Meghan, when you should be devastated at the state of our press right now, at the state of media right now. Get off your knees. Don't come in my chat to laugh and kiki. Harry and Meghan are fine. It's a state of our media and democracy that isn't fine. Some of y'all are just, my gosh, you need help. Okay, there's one more thing that I need to do before we get into it. Just give me 1 sec, folks. Give me 1 sec. Let me play some music. Lightside, do you want to come up? Are you? I think Lightside just woke up as well. What time is it over there? Oh my goodness. Sorry, folks. Let me put some music on. Lightside, if you do, I know you just woke up, but if you do want to come up, there's a link. Otherwise, let me just put on some music and just do this one last thing that I need to do. Okay. All right, let's get into it, shall we? First things first, I actually want to read out this. Somebody posted this yesterday, and I think it kind of summed up what many of us were feeling. This person on Twitter saying, even though Harry has said he's determined to go to trial, I personally think it would be completely understandable for him to accept this offer. Even if Prince Harry does win, which based on his desperate last-minute offer, it looks like he would, Harry would still be liable for not only his legal costs, but also Murdoch's costs. And the amount awarded to him for winning would pale in comparison to what they are probably offering him right now. I doubt, however, that Prince Harry will agree to a settlement that does not include a strong admission of guilt. But if Harry does settle, he will inevitably be a hypocrite and sell out by the same, called a hypocrite and a sellout by the same publications he is fighting against right now. Yeah, I mean, you know what? The biggest, other than obviously for Harry, his personal feelings about this, the biggest loser in this, really is the public. Now, I don't necessarily think that um this is over. This is the end of this here. I think there are still ways that we can, you know, get accountability. It's going to be a long, hard battle, of course, but this would have been a great start. I mean, this trial was meant to go on for 8 to 10 weeks, but at the last minute, in they come. And listen, if that offer better have been at least 1 billion. It better have been at least 1 billion. No, nothing less than that would have done. And it's not like Rupert Murdoch can't afford it, because one thing he doesn't want is the truth coming out. So Prince Harry has settled his High Court privacy invasion case with the publisher of The Sun on what was due to be the first day of a week's long trial. So I'm going to read the apology with a small a from NGN, which does also mention Diana. And then there's some other details that came out today that I'll get into in a sec. But let's just read the apology with a small a from NGN and Murdoch's camp. NGN offers a full and unequivocal apology to the Duke of Sussex for the serious intrusion by the Sun between 1996 and 2011 into his private life, including incidents of unlawful activities carried out by private investigators working for the Sun. NGN also offers a full and unequivocal apology to the Duke of Sussex for the phone hacking, surveillance, and misuse of private information by journalists and private investigators instructed by them at the News of the World. NGN further apologizes to the Duke for the impact on him of the extensive coverage and serious intrusion into his private life, as well as the private life of Princess Diana, Princess of Wales, his late mother, in particular during his younger years. We acknowledge and apologize for the distress caused to the Duke, the damage inflicted on relationships, friendships, and family, and have agreed to pay him substantial damages. It is also acknowledged, without any admission of illegality, that NGN's response to the 2006 arrests and subsequent actions were regrettable. That's very interesting phrasing right there. NGN also offers a full and unequivocal apology to Lord Watson for unwarranted intrusion carried out by um carried out into his private life during his time in government by the News of the World during the period between 2009 to 2011. This includes him being placed under surveillance in 2009 by journalists at the News of the World and those instructed by them. NGN also acknowledges and apologizes for the adverse impact this had on Lord Watson's family and has also agreed to pay him substantial damages. In addition, in 2011, News International received information that information was being passed covertly to Lord Watson from within News International. We now understand that this information was false and Lord Watson was not in receipt of any such confidential information. NGN apologizes fully and unequivocally for this. Light side, good morning or good evening. I don't know what time it is.
Good
Are you there?
morning. Yeah, good morning. Can
Hi.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, or good day or good evening. I just woke up. You can't hear my voice.
Mm.
Um,
Mhm.
I just looked at my phone, text all hours of the night, sometimes with Anne, but I actually hadn't finished reading
Mhm.
the apology. And I was about to message her back, but can I just say something?
Mhm.
I'm gonna say this first. I know we went through this with the last lawsuit that I think one of which Harry had won, and they had to pay him a certain amount that was undisclosed, right?
Mhm.
We talked about the one with Megan and how she only asked for $1, I believe. I can't remember which one that was, but then Harry came up and he did win one before. He's been winning. Um, we know that he's had to pay fees for certain ones, and that's the name of the game. You win some, you lose some. But overall, I would
Mhm.
say that this this drive that he's had for trying to expose and bring truth to something that has been horrific, that had happened in the past to his mom, to him,
Mhm.
exposing a certain side of the royal life and uh, the venomous behavior of the media, as you mentioned, being extremely dangerous, and it is here in the States also, but especially with them being so dangerous, he's exposing and starting conversations about why this has happened, right? Even if we weren't aware about all the nastiness that was going on and the power that they had and the depths at which they would sacrifice and do anything to slander someone who's been completely innocent and to disrespect a life lost. He's
Mhm.
bringing exposure to it, so there's conversations happening. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, I feel like he's already won. I feel like he's
Yeah.
won. I'm gonna say this first. I didn't get a chance to text you back and say this, but I feel like his mom is smiling and is proud of him. He has
Yeah.
brought more honor to her name than anyone else in that family, including her other
Yeah.
son. And I can say
Yeah.
that and stand on 10 toes down on that. He has
Mhm.
brought honor to that. And even if this seems like a loss, because I know that I to be honest with you, I hate it when people settle outside of court. For me, being on the outside, not knowing all the details, think of it this way, guys. We don't see the legalities of it. We don't have our lawyers in our ears saying, let me lay this out for you. This is our chances of winning. This is what could happen from the other team because they have millions of dollars and they can drag this through the mud for I don't know how many years. And
Yeah.
even if they do that, we may not get anything from it. At the same time, we're going to have the money to carry ourselves and go toe to toe with them and still try to fight them, even knowing that the chances that we may win maybe 20%,
Yeah.
10%, or less than that, right? So there's this whole conversation that's happening. However, the fact that they settled is admittance of guilt. There's a phrase that you read, and I think I quoted it and sent it back to you
Yeah.
about this not being an acknowledgement of illegality, right? That was stated in this statement here. What it means, guys, is that their whole network can basically say, we're not admitting that we're guilty of anything, so you can't really charge us. We're not saying that we're
Mhm.
guilty, but we're going to tell you that yeah, we may have crossed the line at some instances, and yeah, this was bad, and we're going to apologize for it, even though we know it's wrong. You and I, us listening right now, um, understand that what they did was wrong. It was
Yeah.
illegal. But for their system and their structure of power that they have, them actually stating it in this way in a legal manner means that they have no culpability. And that is why
Yeah.
they, in some part, will get away from it. But I'm gonna let you chime in for a second. Yeah, go ahead. What are your thoughts on this?
No, 100% agree. And actually, I'm gonna try and get David Sherborne's Harry's lawyer's statement out, but he, in his statement, did call for an investigation into the unlawful activity, and the perjury and the cover-ups that came along the way. But as you've just said, that little, part of the statement where they say it also acknowledged without any admission of illegality that NGEN's response to the 2006 arrest and subsequent actions were regrettable. It does basically cover their backs. So, you know, how, does this go any further? I mean, in terms of who could hold Rupert Murdoch and NGEN accountable to this degree, well, pretty much everybody is now gone. Harry was like he was like you know, the last like warrior in this fight that could do it. So
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
no,
I
no,
had
you
a
go.
question for you. Well, I was wondering, do you think there could be some sort of agreement, right? they said it's not, I don't know if it says an undisclosed amount. It said quote unquote substantial settlement, not
Hmm.
only for Harry but for Lord Watson. I think I don't quite remember right now. The brain is still waking up, and I apologize, but they stated that there is a substantial settlement, right? But I'm wondering,
Mm.
Harry's lawyers seem like he's really on it, and
Yeah.
with lawyers, what they sometimes will do if they come to an agreement. Um, is before they get to a settlement amount, there are a lot of things that play into it. And part of it could mean they can't touch him or his family anymore in the future. Because I am
Mm.
sure Harry is smart enough and his legal team is smart enough to say, hey, look, they're probably going to get off with this, but how do we stop them from, because this is the whole thing, right? How do you stop them from in the future doing this again? That is the
Yes.
question. It's already happened. They need to be held responsible. But what do we do to make sure that they don't go back out there and do the exact, what's to stop them from doing the same thing to me and my kids in the future, or my nieces and nephews?
Yes.
And so maybe there is language in that to say, hey, look, if this happens, X, Y, and Z. We don't know, but
Mm.
that would be
Hmm.
my ask before I settled on anything. Because really, does Harry want the money? I don't think he
Oh,
cared too much about the money. I don't think that
no.
is Harry's number one goal. I think what Harry wants is justice. What Harry wants is people to be held responsible. And I would imagine that in that conversation, he's been dragged through the mud enough from when he was a kid. He understands what happened to him. There's scars that he's carried
Mm.
from his mom, losing his mom and then having her be portrayed as X, Y, and Z. So he understands that these people are well connected, are powerful, are also connected to the royal family for people who are working with him behind the scenes. And so for that understanding, for him to take up this battle in arms and go toe to toe with these big, big, big dogs, he has to be moving very smartly. And I can't,
Yeah.
not knowing Harry myself personally, I still think that he would be smart enough to kind of put some safety guards in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and if anything, at the end of this, I think that Diana is looking down very, very proud today. I think Harry did the most. He did more than William will ever do. I mean,
Yes.
William, not only did William take a settlement, he took a measly 1 million. How
But he
pathetic.
Yeah, but he pretty
Like,
much
is
threw his
that
mom under the
all your
bus.
mum's? Yeah. And push his mum under the bus. Like, is that
Yeah.
how much you feel that your mother is worth?
Yeah, and I think that's the most painful thing is that we remember that he took a secret settlement because it was in some sort of conversation that he had found out that his brother had settled on the side. And so the whole issue with this thing that they were burying it so much. And remember, I think the royal family or Williams folks, I generalize with them, but they had been trying to discourage him from taking any kind of
Hmm.
legal action. Right? We talked about this several months ago. They had been
Hmm.
discouraging him from taking any legal action and putting up any fight with these people to get justice. They were really trying to get him to back down, not expose certain things. Partly, I think, because they knew they were connected and they had already had some agreement. So it came out that William, behind the scenes, had some secret understanding and had gotten a cut for staying quiet and for just agreeing and going along because no one would know about any of this stuff had Harry not taken it up. Right. And
Hmm.
on top of that, he also pretty much, I think, threw his mom under the bus. Like he wasn't backing her. You
Yeah.
decided to take some cheap coins to keep your mouth shut over an issue that you knew was wrong. There's some privacy um, issues happening, right? Privacy and people's rights and violations of that. And you knew that what was going on, but you agreed to play along with the big boys because it was convenient for you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all your little brother wanted was the fact that since this had happened during that time and likely it happened during his mom's time, he wanted to expose it because he knew that this was dangerous.
Indeed. Indeed. Okay, listen, guys. Thank you so much for that light side. I actually have to start getting ready in about 5 or 10 minutes. So what I want to do just to round this, so we will continue this discussion. If not later today, then tomorrow. Baron's going live very soon, so you can go over there. I don't know if Church Nelly or anyone, if you have the direct link to Baron's live that he's about to do. If any of you happen to be subscribe to me but not subscribe to Royal Sussex, please do go and subscribe. And you can continue the conversation over there. But I just want to try and play David Sherborne's statement. Like I said, if you can, because I'm playing this in a different browser window, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. So just let me know if you can hear it. Light side.
No problem.
First of all, can you hear this?
I don't hear anything right now.
Yeah, okay, it's you can't. Let me see if I can try and get it. Let's see. Maybe try and get it in a no, not share screen. Um. Okay, maybe if I try and get it. Let me try and get it on my phone, and then see if we can listen
Yeah,
to it that
that
way.
might work. Okay, cool.
Because he had some pretty harsh words. Harry's lawyer statement. Let's have a look at this. One moment, folks.
Sherborne, who is Prince Harry's barrister, and we are expecting him to read out the apology in full secured by News Group newspapers. It'll be interesting to see if there's anything further added to it from read out a statement on behalf of the Duke of Suffolk and Lord Watford.
Okay, can you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it really nice the first time. I don't know where you had the phone, but it was nice and loud.
Okay, but I mean, is it generally okay?
Yeah, as long as you keep it exactly where it is, because it kind of like moved away and got a little quiet at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
In a monumental victory today, News UK have admitted that The Sun, the flagship title for Rupert Murdoch's UK media empire, has indeed engaged in illegal practices. This represents a vindication for the hundreds of other claimants who were strong-armed into settling without being able to get to the truth of what was done to them. After endless resistance, denials, and legal battles by News Group newspapers, including spending more than £1 billion in payouts and in legal costs, as well as paying off those in the know, in order to prevent the full picture from coming out, News UK is finally held to account for its illegal actions and its blatant disregard for the law. It has also specifically admitted wrongdoing against Tom Watson and admitted unlawful acts by the Sun, as well as by the News of the World against Prince Harry. The truth that has now been exposed is that News Group newspapers unlawfully engaged more than 100 private investigators over at least 16 years on more than 35,000.
Oops, it decided to start buffering when it got to the best part, but I'm sure you just heard that. Hundreds
Yeah.
of private investigators on more than 35,000 occasions. Oh dear. Now
Over
internet wants
16
to start
years
acting.
too, right? So
Yeah.
that would if I did the calculation, are we talking and we're going back to Princess Diana days when she was
Yes.
around? Okay.
That exactly.
Occasions. This happened as much at the Sun as it did at the News of the World, with the knowledge of all the editors and executives going to the very top of the company. What's even worse is that in the wake of the 2006 arrest of a royal correspondent, there was an extensive conspiracy to cover up what had really been going on and who knew about it. Senior executives deliberately obstructed justice, by deleting over 30 million emails, destroying backgrounds, and making false denials, all in the face of an ongoing police investigation. They then repeatedly lied under oath to cover their tracks, both in court and at the Leveson public inquiry. At the trial in 2014, Rebecca Brooks said, "When I was editor of The Sun, we ran a clean ship." Now, 10 years later, when she is CEO of the company, they now admit when she was editor of The Sun, they ran a criminal enterprise. Far from being relics of a distant past, many of those behind these unlawful practices remain firmly entrenched in senior positions today, both within News UK and other media outlets across the world, wielding editorial power and perpetuating the toxic culture in which they continue to thrive. It's perhaps no surprise that all of their senior executives and editors refuse to turn up to court to give evidence. The failure of each of these key individuals to come and answer questions under oath spoke volumes in itself, but their collective silence is deafening. Today's result has been achieved only through the sheer resilience of Prince Harry and Tom Watson, whose willingness to take newsgroup newspapers to trial has led directly to this historic admission of unlawfulness at the Sun. It has only been by taking newsgroup not just to the steps of court, but inside the courtroom itself, that these claimants have finally managed to extract this historic admission of guilt. As a direct result of him taking a stand, Prince Harry and his immediate family have also had to repeatedly withstand aggressive and vengeful coverage since starting his claim over 5 years ago. This has created serious concerns for the security of him and his family. The rule of law must now run its full course. Prince Harry and Tom Watson join others in calling for the police and Parliament to investigate not only the unlawful activity now finally admitted, but the perjury and cover-ups along the way. It is clear now that this has occurred throughout this process, including through sworn evidence in inquiries and court hearings, in testimony to Parliament, and until today's final collapse of Newsgroup's defence. Today, the lies are laid bare. Today, the cover-ups are exposed, and today proves that no one stands above the law. The time for accountability has arrived. Thank you very much.
Okay, I do have to run out the door, but I just wanted to play that. Before I do go, Dorothy Ross, I just want to acknowledge your presence here today, and you as someone in the squad who has shown up consistently, been incredibly supportive and always brings positivity regardless of what you have been going through, and you have been battling cancer. The deepest prayers to you. I hope you have an amazing support system around you helping you, and you know, I just wanted to acknowledge you. And there was actually someone in the squad who had who wanted to buy some of Rahini's incredible creations and gift them to someone. So I think you're definitely someone who I would like to gift something. And there's a couple of other people as well that I was thinking about. So if I don't know how you could contact me, Dorothy Ross, maybe just like send me an email to ansimalamba@gmail.com so I could get your address, and I would love to be able to send you something. Okay, guys, I really do have to go now. I'm not going to play the intro, but we will pick this up later. And obviously go head over to Baron. Thank you also to Lightside. Okay, ciao everyone.